travesty. And I think it was a travesty not only because of the fact that it took so long to get to the point that candidates were elected, but I think remove Jonathan, who in my opinion has done more for Roosevelt Island than any of the other board members. Not to underrate what the other board members have done, but he's always gone the extra mile. I think is a major, major loss. Now, I think the problem is to get people to change their minds in Albany is going to be extraordinarily difficult because just as a matter of human nature and pride and feeling a sense of justification in what was already done, it's going to be, I think, very hard to reverse it. And I think, though, that people should nevertheless hear our voices. And I think that doing petitions and phone calls and doing things that are fairly public, that the media can take notice of, I think is a good idea. And many times, ultimately, public decisions are influenced by a minority of the population. So that I, feel that the minority of the population still can be quite powerful. But I think that it was very unfortunate. What can I say? It was a very, very unfortunate thing. I sometimes wonder whether there was something else behind this because of Jonathan's effectiveness. I wonder whether somebody was trying to get him off the board, for the purposes of getting something else done. And, and some of us are so strapped with our present jobs for us to take on what he was doing in terms of, negotiations with Hirshhorn and the whole bit. It's very hard for us to take over that. I mean, not only because of our own time constraints, but also because he has a background that somebody like myself doesn't have. I'm a practicing physician on this island, working, 60, 70 hours a week. So I don't have the real estate skills. I try to be wise when I make votes. I try to think things through. I try to ask questions and everything else. But I mean, what Jonathan has done has been invaluable. Not just as it relates to privatization, but the master leaseholder. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that he's been involved with. And I think it's so unfortunate this happened. So, I think what you suggested about people picketing and stuff like that, I think that's a great idea. Because I think this has to get into the news media. I mean, this has to get into the news media, and petitions and telephone calls will not necessarily get into the news media. I mean, I think those are all very important. Quite frankly, I'm very disappointed with Cuomo. I'm sure that a lot of people in this room voted for him. I bet some of us wonder why we voted for him when he handled business in this manner. Not that he had a great opponent, but I think the fact is that this was just unfortunate. Whatever we can do to change things, we should. But I have a feeling that it went beyond just, why was Jonathan the one chosen to be removed from the board? And I had told Margie, and I had also told Micah Kellner, I'd be willing to resign from the board if they would put Jonathan in my place. And I really firmly believe that because his contributions are almost unmeasurable. And I feel though, but I have a feeling that he was somewhat stabbed in the back by somebody. And, then that it's very, we don't know what has gone on behind the scenes. We don't know whether there's been money placed from one pocket to another pocket. We don't know what deals have been made.
Right, and probably won't, but we still have to move on to this.